Negativity on this channel? Are you serious? It couldn't be. I wouldn't be a real person if I didn't tell you that there are going to be good days and bad days. I honestly never thought that I would encounter a problem like this. I know people have this problem all the time with guests, but usually guests just fess up to lies. But the guest that I'm about to tell you about, she had no intentions of doing that. I definitely wasn't prepared for what was going to happen to me. So that's one thing. This is what I'm drinking. And this is the pineapple one, but I actually prefer the cranberry more. Just gonna add some ice to it. So yeah, I do like this rum stripe. It just shouldn't be this hard to get ice. Oh, it's easy. I have the ice things you just press right there. Duh. Let me see, can I get this one? Oh, you just press here and the ice cube comes right out. It's good. I find this one to be a little more sweeter than the other one. This definitely needs to be served over ice. But let's get back to the subject at hand. Oh, and just to let you know, I do have a video that I will be putting out next so you can see the house in its entirety. So, you guys, I need you to listen to the story, listen to all the details, and tell me what you think. I got a request to book. I don't let people instantly book with me, and I've actually made a video about that I am going to post, and why I don't let people instantly book with me. I have them do a request. So she requested to book. This way I can review her reviews, and have a conversation with her to see if what she's expecting and what I expect align with each other. So she can be happy and I can be happy. I write her. She's very nice. She's very cordial. She told me that she's coming to Jamaica for the holiday. She was going to be here with her sister, and she just absolutely loved the way my place looked. And I was, of course, very appreciative of this. I talked to her and I told her I would love to host her in Jamaica. Now, mind you, this is very important. She does not have reviews on Airbnb. Not saying that you cannot take people with reviews, because everyone has to have a chance to get started. So I just told her that I wanted to just give her my house rules to make sure that, again, that alignment between her and me, what she's expecting and what I'm expecting, they right. So in my house rules, I talk about like the no smoking policy. I definitely talk about I only have a max occupancy of 2 people. I even go into detail saying what staying there means. People that sleep there, people that bathe there, people that actually spend all their time, people that stay overnight. Those are people that are actually occupants. You are not a visitor when you do those type of things. I have all that in my actual house rules that you have to agree to before I accept your booking, among other things. It's small, but it's very to the point, because I want to let you know what I expect. She reads everything. She's like, oh my God, I confirmed you. And I'm excited. So, I accept her booking. I send her, just another message telling her what will happen leading up to the days that, her trip comes, how I will communicate with her, and just all these other things. And everything is fine. It comes up to the time for her to check in. If you're Airbnb, you let me know. And if you're not and you're going to be one, this may happen to you all the time. It still happens to me. And I'm on my 3rd year of hosting now. When you get a guest that's checking in, you always get this feeling inside. I don't know, when you have maybe like a lot of properties, maybe you don't get this feeling, but I get this feeling. I need to know that my guest has arrived safely and was able to get into the house without issue. After that, like the first night, you kind of always feel a little on edge, especially when you have like a house with a lot of techie things in it, maybe the lights, the stove, the shower, and you just want to ensure that they understand how to use everything. This is why I told you I have the YouTube channel where they can go if they have any issues with certain things. They can always look at the channel for reference. So you always have this feeling inside. When I know that my guests are checking in, obviously I would get a notification that someone has, come to the door. So I always check them, ensure that they get inside the house, because some people may have an issue with the lock, or they may not have Wi-Fi to be able to contact me. So once I see them go in the house, I feel relieved and I'm done, because I have my own life. And I get notification that the guest has arrived. So I'm so excited. She goes to security. She tells them, it's two people, which it was her and her sister. They let her in, but they also noticed that she came in with three extra people. I get notification of this because, obviously we work with security. I let security know who's going to be on the premises. The guest also informs them of who's going to be with them. And then they take like a little informational thing at the security desk, which is, it's fine. And it's warranted, because it just shows that we're trying to protect our guests, and also we're trying to just protect the building from having people, unauthorized people here. Now, mind you, she said two people. I look at the camera, and what I see is her, another girl, a guy, and another guy. And I see suitcases in everyone's hand. Now, I'm like, okay, sometimes people come up, like I have had guests, they come up and their loved ones may drop them off and they want to see the house. We sit in and hang out with them, which is completely fine with me. But it's suspicious, because I'm like, why do they have so many suitcases? And why does everybody have a suitcase like it actually belongs to them? So they just go in the house. Because of that, I'm like, I'm a little suspicious, but I just, go to sleep. So the next morning I immediately message her. And I tell her, like, hey, I just wanted to be sure that we're on the same accord with the house rules. You should only have two people in the house that are staying there, you and your sister. And I just wanted to make sure, because we talked about this, and I didn't just tell her once, I told her twice. We went over this twice before she came. And she writes me back immediately, and she says, oh, for sure, it's just my sister and I, my cousins dropped me off and they left. When I go back to look at the video, the five people that came with her with the suitcases, they got ready. They went to a party or whatever, because they were all in different clothes when they left out. They all left. And then maybe at like 5 o'clock in the morning, they all came back. So that right there tells me that she's lying, because she told me they dropped her off and they left. So of course that's going to put the spotlight on her at this moment, because now I'm thinking, why is she lying to me? So then I write her and I said, the video footage that we have does not match what you're saying. And security has a different account of it as well, because there are cameras in the hallways, there are cameras in the elevators, and pretty much everybody has a camera at their front door now. So guess what she does? She ignores me. She doesn't write me anymore. She doesn't answer me anymore. And I'm like, okay, now I understand that you're on vacation, but I have now just told you that I saw video footage that's not coordinating to what you're saying happened. So I'm going to question you. I even went a step further. As soon as I saw her with the five people, I immediately contacted another Airbnb host that I know. I know a lot of people, and make sure when you do your Airbnb, you do get in contact and you formulate, like, just not friendships, but you get to know other Airbnbers, which you will anyway. It just kind of comes organically. I didn't go seeking people out. You just kind of it just happens, right? So I contact another host and I tell the host, I'm like, hey, the person that's in my house right now, they have five people. I don't know if the five people are going to stay, but what can you do for me? He was like, oh, I have a place, same premises. He was like, I'll take them. And I was like, okay, fine, because what I'm going to do is take their booking and transfer the rest of the booking to you, like the money and everything. I'm going to take care of everything, and you can go ahead and take care of the guests. So I write her and I tell her, I'm just like, hey, your plans may have changed and you have more than two people. I have another host that is willing to take you at no charge to you. I just, she would just get her stuff and she would go. She doesn't have to get in a car to go anywhere. It's right on the same premises. She ignores it. She doesn't respond to me. She just all out stop responding to me. And make sure every time that you talk to a guest, don't do this WhatsApp thing. Don't start going offline talking to people. Keep it on the Airbnb app. So everything that you're doing, everything that you're writing, all the responses, it's all there. So I involve Airbnb. I call them, I tell them what's going on, I send them the video, and they try to get in contact with her. This is what she says. Before you hear that, just want to let you know she told Airbnb she did not have internet in Jamaica. She only had internet when she was at my house, and she didn't check her messages, and she didn't have time to talk because she was on vacation. She said that I guess she admitted to the people coming up, but she said they left. And oh, I forgot to tell you, she did write me back in the beginning before I told her I had video footage. She was like, "Oh no, I wouldn't do you like that." That's the last thing she said to me. But then I told her I had video footage and she just all out stopped talking to me. Okay, so let's go back to Airbnb. She told them also that because I noticed that I didn't see the guys anymore, but I saw 3 girls. Remember, I told you it was 3 girls and 2 guys. So I see the girl with them. She left with them, went out, and she came back with them at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So Airbnb asked her to explain that. What she told Airbnb was that, or what I was told, is that that was her makeup artist. Okay, I can understand that. You have a makeup artist that arrived with you with suitcases, and she just didn't have ever go home, and she woke up the next morning with you, and she just started doing things with you, and she was glued to this girl the whole entire stay. But okay, it's your makeup artist. It didn't coincide with the videos. This girl was staying in my house. It was just the 3 of them. And that's what she told Airbnb. Airbnb came back and told me. So at that moment, I'm like, okay, I just have to just get this on video, send my videotapes into Airbnb because now she's fine. Because what most guests will do once you contact them, I've never had something like this happen to me, but I know other hosts that have. Once you contact the guest and you let them know what's going on, they'll admit to it. They'll go ahead and pay for the extra guest if that's something that you would allow. But anyway, she just denied it. So the week goes on. And at this point, as the girl, I would think, man, this host knows that I have somebody in here. Let me just take her offer and go stay at the other place. I can have up to 5 people in the house, or, the 3 people that were in the house, and I don't have to worry about this, and I don't ruin my reputation on Airbnb. But that is not what she did. From that day, for the next 4 days, this girl stayed in their house. She went out with them. She came back with them. And I could just see it on the video, and I had security back me up because of course they have access to all the cameras. I never said anything else to her. Airbnb never said anything else to her. I just let the videos just speak for themselves. So let me also tell you something. My camera mysteriously just started acting crazy. Like my security camera that's outside my door that she knew about, because I like to let people, first of all, you have to let someone know that any camera that is in the area, there is a security camera outside my door and you should have one too. But I always let people know because I'm hoping that it deters them from doing wrong things or they won't stay with me. I had to get my drink. This makes me think about the movie Friday. They're like, why you gotta lie? Why you gotta lie, Craig? They got you on video. And did you notice in the video, in the movie, he never questioned the video. He's like, they say they have me on video doing this. They don't have me. And that was the thing about her. She never asked to see the video. She never questioned the video. Because if somebody was accusing me of doing something that I know I didn't do, I would be like, you know what? Let me see the video. And if I saw the video and maybe I saw 3 people, oh, let me tell you this girl left, I would have an explanation for it. She never wanted to talk about that part. She's ruining my whole week because I have things going on here and now my focus is on her. And the thing was, I didn't want her to do anything to my home. So I know what you guys are thinking because a lot of things were going in my head. Like, you should have just put her out. And that's what I tried to do. At first, I told Airbnb, I just want her out. But then she told Airbnb, I wanted to cancel the reservation. But she told Airbnb, a totally different story. So this is why I had to get the footage to actually show what she was doing. I was so mad. I couldn't even sleep. I felt so disrespected. I felt invaded because this person is in my house disrespecting me. Airbnb was so nice to me. And I'm going to just make a separate video just talking about the Airbnb part of it. If you want to know how they handled it and what I had to do to get them to handle it. So I'll make a separate video because I'm just specifically talking about this guest. So now it's day of checkout. I get the keys, I go over to the house, and I was just expecting that my house was going to be a wreck, right? So I go inside the house. It's crap everywhere. Makeup all over the walls, red stuff all over the walls. And I actually wrote her and I told her about this. I'm even more mad. Glue in the carpet, glue on the walls, hair all in the drains. And I'm not even really like upset. I am upset about the way the house was left. But what I'm more upset about was the walls. My walls had handprints all over them with, I guess them touching their face. And there's makeup and handprints at one mirror. There's makeup and handprints at the other mirror. So I guess maybe they had their little makeup stations at each mirror. I don't know what they were doing, but I'm just like, I don't understand how all this makeup got all over the walls. I put in a request for her to pay for the extra guests. She's broken my house rules. And she didn't write me back. She ignored it, but she declined to pay me. Once that happened, I involved Airbnb again because they give you a chance to try to, reason this out with the guests. And at this point, I'm like, you know that you had 3 people in my house, at least 3 people in my house staying. And you came with 5. Every day you had 3 people in my house. To me, I feel she did something to my camera because my camera's working perfectly now. I don't have any issues. I didn't have any issues before. It was only when she was there. But she said she didn't do it. I didn't even go after her about that. I didn't even go after her about the housekeeping because that's a whole nother thing you could do as far as damages. I only went after her for what she did, broke my rules, my occupancy rules. That's all I went after her for. And she declined to pay. I involved Airbnb. They looked at all the footage and they sided with me. It was like undeniable that she was there with 2 other girls. Undeniable. Your makeup artist does not spend all her time with you. She doesn't go to parties and come back at whatever 5 o'clock in the morning. Why is she coming back with you to do your makeup while you sleep? She started writing me back after that because once I put in that request, she denied it. Airbnb then went after her. Now she wants to talk to me. And she's telling me what a horrible host I am, how I'm a scam artist, how she's going to tell Airbnb I have cameras in my house because how do I know what she was doing? The reason how I know what you were doing, sweetie, is because you were walking past security. You were walking past cameras because even when my camera couldn't pick up something, my neighbor has a camera. Their cameras on the elevators. And the thing about it, none of this had to happen because I had a place for her. Within 24 hours, Airbnb pays me back the money that I asked her for. Because I had the proof, they paid me back, and now they're going to go after her for the money. What they're going to do, I have no idea because I don't work for Airbnb, but they don't put you through all that, oh, you got to wait and you got to fight for them. They just step in and they take over. This is why I love this platform. Let me know if you've had any experiences like this, like good or bad with Airbnb. I would love to know. I stayed in my house for like 2 hours before my housekeeper even got there because I was trying to like just clean some of the stuff up. I was like freaking out. Then my housekeeper ended up not knowing that she had a checkout and I had a check-in the next day. And I remember I told you I don't have my house cleaned on the day that someone comes. That house has to be cleaned the day before. Just in case we encounter anything crazy like this, we have time to still get it ready for the next guest. So when I found out that my housekeeper would not be there until the next day when my other guest was checking in, I stayed at that house, and I am not even lying, from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. and I still wasn't done cleaning. Still was not done. I had to go back and I told my housekeeper, I said, if you would have walked into this house yesterday at 11 p.m. when you thought 11 a.m. when you thought I had to check out, you would have never been able to turn this house over in 4 hours for the next guest. This is why it's so important to know that you have everything in place if you are going to be doing checkout at 11, check in at 3. You don't know what you're walking into. You don't know what could be broken, what could be stolen. You just don't know. So you can do these things, but you got to have a strong team. But Airbnb backed me. I was able to get my house back in order. You know what she told me? She said that's what she pays for housekeeping. You do pay for housekeeping, but that is excessive use of housekeeping. That's beyond just a housekeeper coming in to clean the house because I had to then get the walls clean. Oh, she was telling me how she's going to write this horrible review for me. And, obviously if someone does that, it's going to plummet your score, right? But Airbnb, they typically don't take reviews down. How things go is you write your review, they write their review. It's not until both people write their review before they are published. So you can't read what they wrote and then go back and write a bad review for them. They keep it very fair. So, and you have 14 days to do that. If not, then, you can't write a review or they just publish whatever was written. But she was like, I'm gonna write a bad review and but it's like, I told her, I'm like, go ahead, write whatever you want because I'm going to dismantle that. And I told her, whatever she feels, if she's honest, because that's exactly what I did in my review. I told exactly what she did. I didn't tell anything that I couldn't prove. I just told exactly what happened in this situation and how nice I was to have even found her a place, and she didn't take it. She just chose to be dishonest. She was just telling me all these horrible things, but it wasn't phasing me at all because I told her, I was like, have you read my reviews? Really? The only thing that a person is going to see is that she's just mad. She's just mad because you do get a chance to respond to a negative review that they write about you. So I'm not really mad about that because I've never gotten a bad review. Have you experienced something like this? What could I have done differently? What would you have done, with the exception of, going up to just freaking go crazy, but I didn't want to do that. And I also didn't want to, get into some kind of confrontation with this person. That's just not how I roll. And I find that that's just very unprofessional. If you can avoid it, like you want to get the right people out, like security or the police or something like that, because how do you go about, removing these people from your home? Because she just stopped talking, she stopped communicating. So this is again, because she was saying I was stalking her. How am I stalking you when you won't communicate with me? You won't explain to me why I'm seeing one thing and you're saying another thing. But you brought the spotlight to yourself. So now I'm watching you because you're lying. So I added to the house rules that if you do break the occupancy house rules, I am going to immediately terminate your reservation. And then I'm going to charge you $100 per day per guest. And so hopefully that'll be an extra deterrent to keep them from wanting to do something like that. But like I said, I've never experienced something like this. And you are not going to always have good guests, but they come few and far between. Because if all guests were like her, I wouldn't even want to do Airbnb. That's number one. And number two, she didn't have reviews. You do take a chance with getting someone that doesn't have reviews. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that you can't take people like this. I take people all the time without reviews. But clearly, she doesn't know how Airbnb works. I think she just feels like she could just do anything. She has to understand, and I told her, that's someone's home. You can't just think that you're going to just have handprints all over the wall, makeup smeared all over the wall, foundation, my pillows on my couch. It was makeup everywhere. And mind you, if you would have saw the towels, the laundry people, they called my housekeeper and said, have you seen the towels that Paris sent over from this guest that just checked out? But the thing is, I give girls makeup towels, like an actual towel that you could wash your face with during your stay. And I provide makeup wipes. They didn't touch one makeup wipe. I gave them a full brand new pack of makeup wipes for their stay there. Because I'm a girl, I understand. They didn't even use the makeup wipes at all. And I only gave them 2 towels for makeup because, mind you, it's only supposed to be 2 girls staying there. And if they needed more, all they have to do is just ask. I even provide the number to my housekeeper, and I specifically tell them, don't use the towels to take off your makeup. And but I'm not asking you to do something, and I don't provide you with options. She clearly just didn't care. They are the type of people that need to be in like hotels that, can deal with stuff like that. And they have a team that's going to come in of painters, and they can replace laundry and stuff. I've never had a guest do that ever. And I've hosted 99 times. I've never had a guest. And wouldn't it be my 100th person? My anniversary. And I was so excited because a big thing was I wanted to invite them over to the new house so they could do a walkthrough, and I wanted to videotape it if they would allow it, to put them on the channel to get their opinion about everything. I was very excited. Those are the plans that I had, but that all went down the drain. But anyway, I'm done with this story. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I have the video, like I said, so we're going to do a walkthrough of the house. I hope you guys love the house and take care, be encouraged, and everything doesn't always go perfect, but it won't stop you. You are now empowered. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.